I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, let's not go home.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact.
But am I gonna? But am I gonna? But am I gonna? But am I gonna?
Knock it off, you scumbucket.
It's just one of those days. It's just one of
Hey, this is library.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to make space.
It's just one of those days. Feeling like a freight train. First one to complain. Leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to make space. These days.
I feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep your distance. 'Cause right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
If my day keeps going this way, I just might.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I'm like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know? See, now this here is
Not Robert.
Two to the one, from the one to the three. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. Three to the one, from the one to the three. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy. I've been to the motherfucking mountaintop. Heard motherfuckers talk, seen them drop. If I ain't got a weapon, I'ma pick up a rock. And when I bust your ass, I'm gonna continue to rock. Get your ass on the wall with your two left feet. It's real easy, just follow the beat. Don't let that fine girl pass you by. Look real close, cause strobe lights about to have a party. Let's get it started. Shake it. I'm looking for a girl with a body and a sexy strut. Wanna get it poppin', baby, step right up. Some girls, they act retarded. Some girls are body. I'm looking for a girl that will do whatever the fuck I say. Every day she be giving it up. Shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Oh, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me.
I'm a menace, a dentist, an oral hygienist. Open your mouth for about 4 or 5 minutes. Take a little bit of this fluoride riddance. Swish, but don't spit it. Swallow it, now finish. Yeah, me and Nate deal double G. Looking for a couple bitches with some double D's. Pop a little champagne and a couple D's. Slip it in the bubbly. We friends
Time to have a party. Turn the music. Let's get it started. Go and shake it. I'm looking for a girl I can fuck in my Hummer truck. Apple bottom jeans and a big old slut. Some girls, they act retarded. Some girls are body. I want a bitch that sit at the crib with no panties on. Knows that she can, but she won't say no. Look at this lady out in front of me. Sexy as can be. Tonight I want a slut. Would you be mine? Heard you was freaky from a friend of mine.
Now I hope you don't get mad at me, but I told Nate you was a freak. He said he wants a slut. Hope you don't mind. I told him how you like it from behind.
Shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Oh, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. We about to have a party. Let's get it started. Shake it. I'm looking for a girl with a body and a sexy strut. Wanna get it poppin', baby, step right up. Some girls, they act retarded. Some girls are body. I'm looking for a girl that will do whatever the fuck I say. Every day she be giving it up.
There she goes, shaking that ass on the floor. Bump
What is up, guys? I figured I'd just start out pretty fast, finish my smoke, and figured I'd come in and chat with you guys. So welcome back to the show. 2 nights in a row, I've been feeling a lot better. And so, it's nice. It's nice to not feel like death. And, yeah. It's been a rough couple of weeks, dealing with, not feeling too hot. But, I wanted to get this out of the way, because, Ghost House over at, what is it? Nightwave and Revenge of the Sis seems to have some sort of love interest in me. And, you know, I was cordial back. I was very nice with the guy, even though he's a spurg. And wanted to show you guys this. So, he likes to go after me, which is fine. He can do what he wants. But we're going to go ahead and take a close look at this. Right here, I quoted him. And I'm like, you started in on me like you did last time, my dude. Doxing is just a different word for saying doxing. Jesus, look it up already. I know you want my dick, but damn, man. And then goes on to lie to the whole audience and say that he didn't say this right here. And right here. Oh, now I'm making up quotes. And my quote was right there. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, one, you're a spurg idiot autist who, I don't know, just needs to get your head out of your ass, man. Not everyone has to have the same opinion as you, man. It just doesn't work that way. Sorry, I have a varying opinion. It doesn't fucking make me any wrong. It doesn't make you wrong. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. You can have it, and you're fine to have it. You do you, man. And, you know, let's just realize that you seem to be wanting to jump my ass for any and everything I say, and that's fine. That's on you, my dude. You have a personal vendetta. Oh, I changed the words around. Why don't I just go back and show the stream live chat? Are you that dumb? You that dumb? No, I condensed the words because I made it into one line. You're a fucking idiot, Ghost. Let's go ahead and, not Nightwave. God damn, dude. I hate dealing with idiots. And I swear, you're an idiot. There it is. Let's see. We're going to have side chat. I may have to pull it off my mobile because, oh. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull it off my mobile because mobile's the only way to show. Apparently, you can't show live chat on actual, what's it called? That's weird. I didn't know they like apparently they're pulling down freaking comments completely. I literally copied and pasted what you said. But whatever. Let's see. Yeah, apparently they've made it where you can't see comments after the stream has ended. But you might be able to see it on Mersh's screen with the way he posts all his shit there. And has it right there. I think it was what? Right. We're going to assume like right about here. Oh yeah, this shit's so grainy. Like, I don't understand why this is coming through so screwy. Anyways, I'll screenshot it for you later, you crybaby. Ghost just doesn't want anyone to have their own opinions. I don't think doxing is a good thing, and that's my personal opinion. I did not change the words around. I literally word for word what you said, you dumbass. Jesus Christ, you're as bad. Go back and watch my stream from last night. You're as bad as that jackass. Fucking idiot, dude. I swear to God, Ghost, you are a moron, and I thank you for giving me a view, but you are highly idiotic. I literally said exactly what you said and just condensed it into one sentence. But no, you're just special needs, fucking autist idiot. Like, I literally said, AGLuck really hates doxing, whatever that is. Okay. You know what I said? I said but. I said the word but doxing is okay. Whoa. So different from the word however. No, one is just more confrontational. Like me right now, I'm very confrontational because you're an idiot. Jesus Christ, dude. But yeah, guys, so I wanted to talk to you guys about the Kavanaugh stuff. I wanted to get into that. I don't know if Mersh had the chance to play this for you guys. I didn't change some words, dude. Shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. Jesus Christ, you're dumb. Like, seriously. You're just dumb. I changed one word, however, to but, you fucking idiot. Jesus. The Kavanaugh stuff. I don't know if Mersh played the Ford Wouldn't Fly video. And basically, what it was is... Yes, it is. Goddamn Ghost. Go back and look, you fucking spurg autist. Yes, I am mad because you're a lying human piece of trash. Duh. I didn't say I was going to be fucking nice. I said come in here so I could prove your dumb ass wrong. Fucking didn't change any of the words. You fucking ignorant human piece of shit. I wish fucking Mersh's stream wasn't freaking stupid. In the sense of... like the... what's it called? The graininess. I wish it wasn't there. Just so spurgtastic fucking autist could actually fucking remember what was written. Unlike him, I actually fucking have a brain and don't fucking just sit all day dwelling on how illegal's this. Yeah, they should be deported. Congrats. I don't disagree with that. Fuck. I don't white knight for anything, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, so... 6'2", you human piece of trash. Fucking whoop your ass. My hair just grows that way, dude. As you can see, nothing's in it. My hair just does that. Unlike you, I don't have to fucking stylize my hair like a little fag boy. Sorry, my audio is being really weird and not capturing my desktop audio for some reason. So I need to actually, I need to go in and fix that real quick so we have audio. For some reason, it's not showing it like it's gonna catch what's playing on my headphones.
How did you get
oh,
to
there
Washington?
we go. Sweet, now it's working. Okay.
Airplane.
Okay. I asked that because it's been reported by the press that you would not submit to an interview with the committee because of your fear of flying. Is that true?
Well, I was hoping that they would come to me, but then realized that was an unrealistic request.
It would have been a quicker trip for me.
So the whole thing is she stated that she didn't want to fly because she's scared of flying, and apparently spends her time flying to multiple places. It's not like it's just one thing. She goes all the time, all over the place, and used it as a justification not to come to the hearing. That's the reason why it got pushed back and all this other stuff. And it just, I don't know. It seems like she was just trying to call bullshit. Ghost, you can keep running off at the mouth, but you know, I don't spend money. I freaking, unlike you, I don't have to pay women to fucking have them pay attention to me. And my parents don't own shit. My parents literally, I'm trying to think. I could say all I want. You're a faggot. My mom owned her own business, a daycare. So she was the only employee, and never had a maid or anything. We weren't well off. My mom was actually pretty not well off. And so were my dad. And my dad worked, he was a carpenter. and went into you know what, dude? I appreciate the view, but I'm done with you. Because I'm just going to keep paying attention to you, and I just really don't want to. So you can enjoy your time out. This is my channel, and I'll do whatever the fuck I want with it. Just so I don't have to fucking pay attention to him for a little bit. So yeah, so I am behind. I also have a day life and everything else. But you don't see you saying that to Mersh when he's talking about it on his show. Now do you, little fag fucker.
Yes. So that was certainly what I was hoping, was to avoid having to get on an airplane. But I eventually was able to get up the gumption with the help of some friends and get on the plane.
When you were here in the mid-Atlantic area back in August, end of July, August, how did you get here?
Also by airplane. I come here once a year during the summer to visit my family.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not here. I go to Delaware.
So it's super convenient that it's easy for her to fly at those times.
Fairly frequently for your hobbies, and you've had to fly for your work. Is that true?
But it would be super hard for her to fly for the Senate hearing.
Consulting by a statistician in Sydney, Australia. Is that right?
I've never been to Australia, but the company that I worked for is based in Australia, and they have an office in San Francisco, California.
Okay.
I don't think I'll make it to Australia.
It is long. I also saw on your CV that you list the following interests of surf travel, and you, in parentheses, put Hawaii, Costa Rica, South Pacific Islands, and French Polynesia. Have you been all to those places?
Correct.
By airplane?
Yes.
And your interests also include oceanography, Hawaiian and Tahitian.
Tell her I said hi.
Did you travel by air as a part of those interests?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Easier for me to travel going that direction when it's a vacation.
Ha 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 ha. Like, it sounds like a justification to just be a dumb broad. Yeah, so she used the justification and excuse that it would be hard for her to travel and fly. And I actually have know multiple people who are fearful of flying. What do? They get on the plane and they take like a sleeping aid or something to help them push through it. So there's ways around it. She just was trying to make excuses. That's it, cut and dry. That's all she was aiming at, was a reason why she couldn't do it. Because honestly, she's full of shit. Like, she's full of shit, and that's just how it is. Next one I wanted to talk about was Kavanaugh's first interaction with one of the Democrats on the panel.
She said clearly and unequivocally that she was the victim of sexual assault at your hands. She answered our questions directly, and she didn't flinch at the prospect of submitting herself to an FBI investigation of these charges. We know, and I'm sure she's been advised by her attorneys, that a person lying to the FBI can face criminal prosecution. You have clearly and unequivocally denied that you assaulted Dr. Ford. With that statement, you must believe that there is no credible evidence or any credible witness that can prove otherwise.
Weren't the only credible witnesses was her friend that basically said she doesn't remember Kavanaugh at all. So what credible evidence could there be beyond that? At all. Like, there isn't any. It's 36 years ago. There's no credible evidence.
You started off with an impassioned statement at the beginning, and I can imagine, try to imagine what you have been through or your family's been through, and I'm sure I wouldn't get close to it. But it was an impassioned...
No, you wouldn't.
I'm sure I wouldn't. It's an impassioned statement. And in the course of it, you said, I welcome any kind of investigation. I quote you. I welcome any kind of investigation. I've got a suggestion for you. Right now, turn to your left in the front row, to Don McGahn, counsel to President Donald Trump. Ask him to suspend this hearing and nomination process until the FBI completes its investigation of the charges made by Dr. Ford and others, and goes to bring the witnesses forward and provides that information to this hearing. I'm sure that the chairman at that point will understand that that is a reasonable request to finally put to rest these charges if they are false, or to prove them if they are not.
How about no? That's exactly what the Democrats want. They want this pushback. They want this pushback because they hope they can keep out Trump's nominee by a blue wave. And yeah, it's not going to. It's not about being insecure. It's just I get distracted by you running off at the mouth and making up lies and just spewing all around stupidity. And I am distracted from what I want to talk about. But I mean, if you want to go back and forth, we can go back and forth all day. I'll bring you into the stream and I'll railroad your ass. I take call-ins. You want to join the call-in? Someone post the Discord for this little fag fucker.
You spent 2 years in the White House office that approved judicial nominees. You turned to the FBI over and over and over again for their work. Let's bring them in here and now. Turn to Don McGahn and tell him it's time to get this done. An FBI investigation is the only way to answer some of these questions.
Stop the clock. This committee is running this hearing, not the White House, not Don McGahn, not even you as a nominee. We are here today because Dr. Ford asked for an opportunity here. I know you did too as well. In fact, maybe even before she did. We're here because people wanted to be heard from charges that they all thought were unfair, or activities like sexual assault was unfair.
It's to take Collins. It seems like you're pussying out. Man the fuck up and grow a pair and get your ass in here. And no, I don't play Fortnite. You want to fucking talk so big when you're not on the mic. And when you're just spewing your human trash in the freaking... in the chat, but you're not man enough to actually come in and get fucking pushed to it.
So I want to assure Senator Durbin, regardless of what you say to Senator Don McGahn, we're not suspending this hearing. Proceed to answer the question, or whatever, or if the gentleman...
I'll just say this. If you, Judge Kavanaugh, turn to Don McGahn and to this committee and say, for the sake of my reputation, my family name, and to get to the bottom of the truth of this, I am not going to be an obstacle to an FBI investigation, I would hope that all the members of the committee would join me in saying we're going to abide by your wishes and we will have that investigation.
I welcome whatever the committee wants to do because I'm telling the truth.
I want to know what you want to do.
I'm telling the truth.
I want to know what you want to do, Judge.
I'm innocent. I'm innocent of this charge.
Then you're prepared for an FBI investigation?
They don't reach conclusions. You reach the conclusions,
No,
Senator.
but they do investigate questions.
I'm innocent.
And you can't have it both ways, Judge. You can't say here at the beginning,
I wanted a hearing
moment,
Look,
I welcome any kind of investigation.
This thing was
then
sprung
walk
on
away
me.
from this.
This thing was sprung at the last minute after being held by staff. You know,
Judge,
and I
if
called
there
for
is no
I called for a
truth
hearing immediately.
If there is no truth to her charges, the FBI investigation will show that. Or are you afraid that they might not?
Come on, gee whiz.
The FBI does not reach. You know that's a phony question because the FBI doesn't reach conclusions. They just provide the 302s. With 302s, so I can explain to people who don't know what that is. They just go and do what you're doing, ask questions, and then type up a report. They don't reach the bottom line.
This morning I asked Dr. Ford. I asked her about this incident where she ran into Mark Judge at a Safeway. And she said, sure, I remember it, 6 or 8 weeks after this occurrence. Well, someone at the Washington Post went in and took a look at Mr. Judge's book and has been able to, the run that he wrote about his addiction and his alcoholism. And they have narrowed it down what they think was a period of time, 6 or 8 weeks after the event. And he would have been working at the Safeway at that point. So the point I'm getting to is we at least can connect some dots here and get some information. Why would you resist that kind of investigation? Why would you resist that kind of investigation?
Sir, I wanted the hearing last week.
I'm asking about the FBI investigation.
The committee figures out how to ask the questions. I'll do whatever. I've been on the phone multiple times with committee counsel. I'll talk to...
Judge Kavanaugh, will you support an FBI investigation right now?
I will do whatever.
He literally has said, I will do whatever the committee wants. How many times does he have to say it for this fucking spurg? Swear, dude. It's not invalid. You're bullshitting. Making shit up. Literally just pulled it off my server, you fucking liar.
Committee wants to...
Personally, do you think that's the best thing for us to do? You want to answer?
Look, Senator, I've said I wanted a hearing, and I said I was welcome anything. I'm innocent. This thing was held when it could have been presented in the ordinary way. It could have been held and handled confidentially at first.
Yeah, I agree, Pikers. I think he did handle himself well. Yeah, I think he handles himself really well. Coming up shortly with the guy after Lindsey Graham.
First, which was what Dr. Ford's wishes were, as I understand it, and wouldn't have caused this, like, destroyed my family like this effort has.
I think an FBI investigation will help all of us on both sides of the issue.
Then get your ass on a computer, you human garbage, or copy and paste it into your damn server. It's not invalid. I literally just created it. You're just a fucking fag. God damn, Ghost, you're an idiot. Fuck. Fucking Ask Frozen. We did it the same way when they joined. You're using the goddamn YouTube app, you moron. That's why it's not letting you do it.
Ask for the floor. But before he does, it seems to me that if you want to know something, you got the witness right here to ask him. And secondly, if you want an FBI report, you can ask for it yourself. I've asked for FBI reports in the past, in the 38 years I've been...
He's blowing smoke. He's the pussy. He's trying to make me look out as bad, but he's trying to act like it's my fault. And I'm glad that Rick actually checked, and Rick, that I'm not the one that looks bad, because Ghost is a fucking proverbial bullshitter. That's what his MO is. He lies and says I misquoted, and now that I can't freaking go back to Nightwave to show when I literally quoted it except for one word, but doxing is okay. Literally what I said. But he wants to blow smoke because he's a troll. He's a troll. And that's fine. He can be an autist. But when he tries to play nice in the beginning and act all fucking, oh, you know, hey, like, are we cool? And I'm like, yeah, no problem, man. I don't hold a grudge. And then I spell the word doxing with 2 X's. Oh, and I'll show it for this dumb fuck idiot. Oh, look. Present participle. Doxing. You're just an idiot. Just so you don't seem to understand how to use Google. And it's like saying that pedophile is only spelled P-E-D-O. P-A-E-D-O is a very old school way of spelling it, the English spelling. But Ghost House is a fucking troll retard and doesn't seem to understand that not everything he says is right. I can admit my faults. And I even gave him the credit of, you know what? I don't like doxing. But I also agree that illegals shouldn't be here. But do I think we should go after the businesses that use illegals? That's kind of iffy because you're going after American citizens. That's always been my argument. But he's just a fucking idiot. He was born an idiot. He spends way too much time online. And that's what he is. He's just lying, guys. You don't have to keep saying it. We all know it works. There's 3 people who confirmed it works. I confirmed that fucking Ghost is just an idiot. That's what he is. And he's a liar. So he comes in, ad homineming. Oh, you're faux hawk. Oh, this. Oh, your parents. Oh, this. Your argument is stupid. Like, that's what you don't seem to understand, man. This is 2 nights in a row that I get to have fun yelling at a fucking spurg in my chat who's disappeared because he's running away. Like, I'm muted and sitting in my live chat. I also showed that fucking doxing is a fucking. Oh, here we'll give another. Doxing, also spelled DOXING, refers to practice of using the internet to source out and collect someone's personal and private information, publicly release that information derived from the Word documents. The term is an abbreviated version of dropping docs, a method of revenge that dates back to hacker culture of the 1990s. Oh shit, you're just wrong. I don't mind feeding the troll. I like feeding the troll because when the troll is wrong, it's just funny to fucking poke at him. Because I had one in the chat last night, and I like yelling at idiots. That's why I invited him on, because I would love to just rip him a new asshole. No, there's only certain trolls I fuck with. And I know it's like a mogwai. You don't feed them after midnight. But it's not after midnight where I'm at. So, we're good. But, again, I wish I could show it to you guys because I don't want to, what's it called? But I'm sitting here looking at my freaking, what's it called? And I haven't seen anyone join. And I'm pretty sure with 1, 2, 3 people showing that the link worked, Ghost House is just full of shit. So, back to Kavanaugh. And this is my favorite part of the hearing. I was inviting Ghost House to come into the conversation because he's over here trying to say that I'm lying about shit when I provided photo evidence of him just being a dickbag. You're good. You're good, Kev. Just thank you for joining. Oh, it's fucking. I would love to do some internet blood sports against him because his thought process. He just seems like the kind of guy who makes shit up, lies, and then also spins. That's all he is. He doesn't have evidence to back himself up. Oh, you don't spell doxing, D-O-X-X-I-N-G. Motherfucker, you can spell it either way. I just proved it to him. And he's always on my ass about that. First, he starts off Nightwave when he sees me in the chat. Oh, are we good, dude? I'm like, yeah, we're fine. I don't hold a grudge, man. No, we're good. And then I say, I'm not a big fan of doxing in relation to something that Mersh was showing on his stream, the Frank stuff. And you're fine, Frozen. I don't expect anyone to get in the middle of it. I don't need people to defend me or what's it called. But if there's evidence, like 3 people showed, they're not taking a side. They're just saying, yeah, it works. I don't know what issues you're having. They're not saying that fucking I'm 100% right. Well, I'm right that the link works because it's 2 different links that were brand new and created. But when you have a person like him who's always spurging, I haven't had any animosity today, so I don't know where else the animosity has been. But when I tried to start the conversation off as a gentleman and a nice guy after he was nice, he was cool. Yeah, we're good, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. And we're fine. And when you start being a shithead because I use a different variant spelling of a word, and then lie to the audience saying, oh, I was being so nice, but now I realize why I don't like you. It's like, fuck, dude. No, you're being a fake piece of shit, sociopath, fuckface. And, yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of either of those things either. I don't care the justification.
Boy.
Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Pinochet. Fucking Kevin. Am I clear? Am I clear now? Good. I don't expect anyone to be on my side or his side. That's the benefit of being the kind of people we are, where we're more center and center right and everything like that. You get to make up your own mind. And I don't expect any of you to side with me. I'm going to call out an idiot when I call out an idiot. And that's just for me. That's for me. Anyways, this is where it gets good.
In the Senate, Senator Graham.
Are you aware that at 9:23 on the night of July the 9th, the day you were nominated to the Supreme Court by President Trump, Senator Schumer said, 23 minutes after your nomination, I will oppose Judge Kavanaugh's nomination with everything I have. I have a bipartisan, and I hope a bipartisan majority will do the same. The stakes are simply too high for anything less. Well, if you weren't aware of it, you are now. Did you meet with Senator Dianne Feinstein on August 20th?
I did meet with Senator Feinstein.
Did you know that her staff had already recommended...
Dude, I like how he's like, I don't give a fuck about your answer. I know what you're going to say. I have a statement to make here.
...a lawyer to Dr. Ford.
I did not know that.
Did you know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days?
I did not know that at the time.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical
Graham is so roasty right now, just
sham
ripping him apart.
Politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy. Are you a gang rapist?
No.
I cannot imagine what you and your family have gone through. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham. That you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None.
Yep.
She's as much of a victim as you are. God, I hate to say it because these have been my friends. But let me tell you, when it comes to this, you're looking for a fair process. You came to the wrong town at the wrong time, my friend.
Ooh. The fire in Graham, he is just fucking spitting truth, man. The guy does not and will not have anything to do with the bullshit that they're pulling. Wow. Wow.
Do you consider this a job interview?
The advice and consent role is like a job.
Do you consider that you've been through a job interview?
I've been through a process of advice and consent under the Constitution. Which
Would you say you've been through hell?
I've been through hell and then some.
This is not a job interview.
Yeah.
This is hell. This is going to destroy the ability of good people to come forward because of this crap. Your high school yearbook. You have interacted with professional women all your life, not one accusation. You're supposed to be Bill Cosby when you're a junior and senior in high school.
Yeah, and he makes a good point there, and that's he makes a very good point. If you're a serial offender and you're a serial assaulter, would you not constantly be an offender and constantly attack women and have it come out somewhere else? Like somewhere else.
All of a sudden you got over it. It's been my understanding that if you drug women and rape them for 2 years in high school, you probably don't stop.
Exactly.
Here's my understanding. If you lived a good life, people would recognize it, like the American Bar Association has the gold standard. His integrity is absolutely unquestioned. He is the very circumspect in his personal conduct, harbors no biases or prejudices. He's entirely ethical, is a really decent person. He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person. The ABA. The one thing I can tell you, you should be proud of. Ashley, you should be proud of this. That you raised a daughter who had the good character to pray for Dr. Ford. To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable.
Yeah, and Feinstein had the accusation in hand for nearly a month. Yeah, from when she revealed it, probably about 2 months almost. If there was a want to actually have it investigated, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you pass it on to the FBI? That gives you 2 months. No, it was a trump card. It is all it was. Well, he wasn't a nerdy dude. No, he wasn't. He was a jock. He was an athlete. And so I wouldn't agree that he was incapable because of that. I would say he's incapable because he wasn't capable. He didn't. And the dude didn't have sex until he was in college or married or something. But he wasn't a nerdy kid. He was a jock. And he even stated that he played sports and was an athlete and stuff. So he wasn't the sit at home alone. He had lots of friends. He was popular. But if that was the case and he was this kind of person, there would be people who would see through it. You know?
Despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. You want this seat? I hope you never get it. I hope you're on the Supreme Court. That's exactly where you should be. And I hope that the American people will see through this charade. And I wish you well, and I intend to vote for you, and I hope everybody who's fair-minded will.
Senator Whitehouse.
This is Senator Whitehouse is such a human trash bag.
Should we let things settle a little bit after that?
Oh, shut up, you sarcastic fucking
60-second break.
No, I'm good.
bitch.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm good. One of the reasons, Mr. Kavanaugh, that we are looking at the yearbook is that it is relatively consistent in time with the events at issue here. And because it appears to be your words, is it in fact your words on your yearbook page?
We submitted things to the editors, and I believe they took them. I don't know if they changed things or not, but
you're not aware of any changes, as far as you know.
I'm not aware one way or the other, but I'm not going to sit here and contest that. Have at it if you want to go through my yearbook.
Yeah,
I'm fucking 16-year-old's yearbook.
Should be working off of common terms and understand the words that we're using. I think that's a pretty basic principle among lawyers. Wouldn't you agree?
It is. If you're worried about my yearbook, have at it, Senator.
Roast.
Let's look at Beach Week Ralph Club biggest contributor. What does the word Ralph mean in that?
That probably refers to throwing up. I'm known to have a weak stomach, and I always have. In fact, the last time I was here, you asked me about having ketchup on spaghetti. I always have had a weak stomach.
I don't know that I asked about ketchup on spaghetti, but
you didn't. Someone did.
Okay.
And this is well known. Anyone who's known me, like a lot of these people behind me, have known me my whole life. No.
There's got to be some 36-year-old mayo in that roast beef sandwich. Gross.
So the vomiting that you reference in the Ralph Club reference.
He has a weak constitution. Who gives a fuck?
Sarah, I was.
He drank beer.
Top of my class academically. Busted my butt in school.
Punked.
Captain of the varsity basketball team. Got into Yale College. When I got into Yale College, got into Yale Law School. Worked my tail off.
White House's Al resurrecting his Stuart Smalley character.
Did the word Ralph you used in your yearbook
I already answered the question. If you're,
did it relate to alcohol?
I like
you
beer.
Haven't answered that.
I like beer. I don't know if you do.
Okay.
Do you like beer, Senator? Or not?
Yeah. Do you like beer? Answer the question, you little bitch.
Sarah, what do you like?
Judge, have you?
Punked.
I don't know if it's buffed or boofed. How do you pronounce that?
Hold on. I don't know if you guys watched this. And that's a fucking horrible pause. He looks like he was about to sneeze. What 16-year-old doesn't make fart jokes?
We were 16.
Okay. And so when your friend Mark Judge said put the same thing in his yearbook page back to you, he had the same meaning. It was flatulence.
I don't know what he did, but that's my recollection. We want to talk about flatulence at age 16 on a yearbook page. I'm game.
You mentioned, I think, the Renata, I don't know how you pronounce that. That's a proper name of an individual, you know?
Renata.
Renata. It's spelled with an E at the end, R-E-N.
Why does it matter? It's how it's pronounced, you fuckbag.
And then after that is the word alumnius. What does the word alumnius mean in that context?
I explained that in my opening statement. She was a great friend of ours. A bunch of us went to dances with her. She hung out with us as a group. The media circus that has been generated by this thought and reported that it referred to sex. It did not. Never had any, as she herself said on the record, any kind of sexual interaction with her. And I'm sorry how that's been misinterpreted, and sorry about that, as I explained in my opening statement, because she's a good person. And to have her name dragged through this hearing is a joke and really an embarrassment.
Devil's Triangle.
Now this is the one thing I'm just like, why does it matter if some kids talked about a Devil's Triangle? And it could be the context that we used stuff like that when I was a kid is different from the 80s. We meant it, the Devil's Triangle or Devil's Three-Way was two dudes and a girl. And obviously, even if it was what it really meant and he's not being honest, but he seems like an honest guy, then...
Drinking game.
How's it played?
3.
I wonder see if it's... Oh, dude, it's one of the top search things right now. Huh. Let's see what people are talking about, because everyone's freaking on this now. These people just want to like roast the guy. Like, I don't care what it means. Just even if you are sexual at a fucking young age, why does it matter?
3 glasses in a triangle.
And
you ever played quarters?
No.
Okay, it's a quarters game.
Purchased it. They're ready to go. This is the playbook. This is the way we're going to run this committee from this point forward.
Hold on, I didn't see this part.
Watching this, we'll go out to the Senate Judiciary website and take a look at this chronology. Take a look at the lack of investigation on the part of the people who want the investigation. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Every opportunity you have to go and question a witness, every opportunity that we've had to find more truth, to find more facts, we've done it. It's documented. We've got sworn statements. We're doing our job. We're doing the committee work. Judge Kavanaugh, I also have to say, I believe that you're you're the first major target of a new strategy that's developed here. And I think you're right. I think it's just basically attack, attack, attack. It's not advice.
The problem is if they start doing this, the left's just gonna, I mean, the right's just gonna do it back. They're putting in this endless cycle, and they're just gonna do it the same kind of way. They're gonna do what's worse, and it's dumb, because all you got to do is find someone who has some sort of allegation. They're dumbasses for jumping in on this.
As in consent, it's search and destroy.
Beer Fest was a great movie.
This is one of the websites, one of the groups that are out there attacking you and trying to create fodder and all of these red herrings has already acquired a URL for the next judge that they're going to attack. URL's right here. They've already purchased it. They're ready to go. This is the playbook. This is the way we're going to run this committee from this point forward. Take a look at it. I'll make sure we get it out on our website. We've already got a Stop Another Judge who hasn't been nominated URL from the same people that are trying to mobilize people to attack you.
Damn, dude.
There are some people here who may sincerely have concerns. I would tell you to pound the table with your ranking member and the leadership on your side to say, why didn't we ask questions? Why did we listen in and defer? Why didn't we do our part of the investigation while this leader did everything he could to accommodate Dr. Ford and to run down
Just hit my
every
knee. Sorry.
single lead that's been presented to us? Weeks after it was known to the minority.
Because they didn't want it to run down. They wanted it as their trump card. They purely wanted it as something they could throw in his face. No, they're not just stalling because of the DACA thing. They're stalling because they're afraid of like the abortion stances and other things that he's part of. Which I don't give a fuck.
And everybody on the other side of this dais knows that that's not going to happen.
Senator Booker.
Oh, here comes
Judge Kavanaugh.
Cory.
You drink on weekdays.
Douchebag Burker.
On weekdays?
Yes, sir.
I'd say that's rare. Are you talking about during the school year?
I'm talking about the calendars that you provided during these dates.
Oh,
and
that's in the summer after a football workout when we went over to.
You drank on weekdays, yes or no, sir?
In the summer.
When we went over to
It's summer,
Timmy's house
you
on
jackass.
July 1st, that would indicate yes.
Yes, in other words, that July 1st reference to skis, went over for skis, that's brewskis, correct?
And after Tobin...
Sir, I just need a yes or no. That brewskis, right?
Well, I need to explain in context.
You just said, sir, that you drank on weekdays. That's all I was looking for.
Well, no,
if I may ask the next question, sir. You said clearly on the record, I just want you to restate it, that you never in your life, after drinking heavily to the point of throwing up, and again, you said you had a weak stomach, you said you never had gaps in memories, never had any losses whatsoever, never had foggy recollection about what happened. Is that correct, sir? Yes or no?
That's what I said.
Okay. Sir, you also said that this past 2 weeks has been a 2-week effort calculated and orchestrated as a political hit.
Well, isn't Cory Booker have some shit from his past that was kind of cringy and weird? Yeah, he's just got those weird ass eyes, demon face.
Are you saying that Dr. Ford's efforts to come forward to prepare for the very difficult testimony she gave today,
oh, so difficult,
travel to Washington D.C. and tell us about her experience, have all been part of an orchestrated political hit? And are you basically calling her some kind of political operative?
No, he's calling you jackasses who used her a bunch of jackasses. Pay attention, you fucking moron. Fucking lazy eye all up in here. Look at this motherfucker's lazy eye. Cory Booker.
I've said my family has no ill will toward Dr. Ford. She wanted confidentiality. Her confidentiality was blown by the actions of this committee, and it's turned this into a circus.
So, sir, let's just be clear. In other words, you have problems with the senators that are up here and how we conducted it.
Yes.
You're not saying in any way that she is a political pawn, political operative. You have sympathy for her. She is talking about a sexual assault. Is that correct?
I said all allegations should be taken seriously. You should listen to both sides. My family has no ill will.
Pay attention, Booker. Stop interrupting, you fuck.
Senator, I did not do this. The witness...
That's not my question, sir. Could you try to answer my question, sir? Do you wish she never came forward?
The witnesses who were there say it didn't happen.
Okay, sir. Do you wish she just remained silent then?
I wish the witnesses who were there say it didn't happen. All allegations should be taken seriously.
So even if it's in the final days before a vote, if someone has a credible...
Didn't he put it forward that he would like to hear her out and she should be heard out? Are you just stupid? I slap you up on your Mr. Clean forehead and tell you to pay attention.
Allegation of experience that they held for a long time, that person should be allowed to come forward. And in fact, as she said, it was her civic duty. You're not questioning her sense of civic duty, are you?
She did come forward, and then it was.
I know you have a lot of political animus. You stated it very clearly towards my colleagues and I on this panel. what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is you do
No,
not
they
see
should
her
be.
specifically.
They should be acknowledged, and I'm fine with them being acknowledged. That's the thing. But why would you sit on it? Why would you sit on it at Feinstein? Sit on it for how many years? I mean, how many months? 2? Before the committee may need to vote? Just, oh, by the way, we've had this for 2 fucking months. Oh, she wants an FBI investigation, and I'm talking to her. But I could probably have asked her, would she like it investigated? They could have done the investigation without him knowing. Oh, wait, how many times was he investigated by the FBI? Oh, yeah. He was appointed twice to federal positions. Fucking idiot. It's not prove him innocent. He's not proven he's innocent till proven guilty. So how about you stop trying to make this man prove himself innocent, you fucking retard.
As part of an orchestrated event. She is not a political pawn.
I don't know her, but I've also said that we bear no ill will toward her. She wanted confidentiality. This could have been handled.
And I understand, but she came forward. She took a great extent.
Yeah.
Your family has gone through hell. Her family has gone through hell. She sat here. She told her truth. And
truth.
made the allegation that she was coordinating it. I do not think she was coordinating with
I did
therapists.
not say that. That's it.
You said this, I'm sorry. So you said that others were making a coordinated attack.
Coordinated by.
Forgive me. You were talking about us, not
room.
her. So
people in this room coordinated.
She was not doing this for political efforts in 2012 when she talked to her therapist about this attack. She was not.
Okay. If her friend, her best friend, does not remember, says he was not there, blah, 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 then that's her best witness. Like, what point do you have to get to, you fucking idiot?
Not coordinating about this painful experience when she made revelations to her husband. She did not coordinate in 2013, 16, 2017, before you even nominated, when she revealed that it was you with 3 different people that had sexually assaulted her. That wasn't coordination.
Didn't.
And Lindsey,
all the witnesses who were there say it didn't happen. Ms. Kaiser is her longtime friend.
Burn.
Said she never saw me at a party.
Burn, Booker.
And Ms. Kaiser
shut the fuck up, Booker.
What she said. She said she does not remember the night in question. That supports what you said. But she also says that she believes Dr. Ford. And so my colleague Lindsey Graham, who I respect and have.
You can just listen and believe. She wants to believe that her friend's not lying, but she doesn't remember when the quote unquote situation happened. I'd believe a friend if they said they were assaulted. But if it comes out and they ask me, oh, she said that you're the person who would know best. And I'm like, I don't know the night in question. I don't remember it. Then what?
Admiration to and has been a partner of mine. He said voting no would be legitimizing the most despicable thing in American politics. Do you think that people who believe Dr. Ford are legitimizing despicable things? Those of us who think she's a credible witness, the allegations against her are credible, do you think that somehow
allegations against him, you fucking idiot?
Senator, I say listen to both sides before you make a bottom line conclusion, and look at the.
That is fair. I have 10 seconds left, sir. You can answer after I finish. You have 10 seconds left. That is fair. Listen to both sides. This is not about.
There's his 10 seconds. Shut the fuck up.
Listen to both sides. She was a credible. I'm going to finish my question. She gave credible, meaningful testimony. A woman who had the courage to come forward and tell.
She's so brave. So brave.
And that's what I'm just asking you to say.
Her
she
truth.
Is not a political pawn. She is not orchestrating. She is not part of the Clintons'
he hasn't
efforts
said
to get some kind
that.
Of revenge. She is a woman who came here with corroborating evidence to tell her truth.
Is that a question?
No, sir. It was a final statement.
Senator Cruz.
Just on one thing, Mr. Chairman, the evidence is not corroborated at the time. The witnesses who are there say it didn't happen.
Okay. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Kavanaugh, you and your...
Okay, before we go into Cruz, I want a timestamp I really want a timestamp of Feinstein, because I want to hear what that fucking troll has to say, because I don't think it's around here. Is Feinstein on? Does Feinstein's fucking haggard ass ever talk? because I'm curious to see what she said. Because, like I said, I didn't get to watch this. I only started watching it because of a show I produced. Grassley. This guy, fucking nappy ass, bald head. Yep, there's Feinstein. Her name plate. Mr. Lee. Oh, this guy. Yeah, that guy looks haggard as fuck. Or does Feinstein is Feinstein after Hiroshima? Tom Tillis. I believe we listened to this frickin' jagoff. Okay, so we'll go with Cruz first, because Feinstein's probably after him. So listen to 5 seconds of Booker's
not corroborated at the time. The witnesses who were there say it didn't happen.
No, that's not what that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Shut up.
Judge Kavanaugh, you and your family have been treated incredibly poorly by Senate Democrats and by the media. And let me say also, I think Dr. Ford and her family have been treated incredibly poorly by Senate Democrats and the media. You have both seen your good names dragged through the mud. And this has been, sadly, one of the most shameful chapters in the history of the United States Senate. Let me say to you and your family, thank you for a lifetime of public service. I will say, watching your mother's pained face has been heart-wrenching as she's seen her son's character dragged through the mud after not only your lifetime of public service, but her lifetime of public service.
I gotta check something while this plays
And
in the
I know as a
background
father,
vocally.
There's been nothing more painful to you than talking to your daughters and explaining these attacks that the media is airing. I also believe, though, that the American people are a fair-minded people, that the American people can set aside the partisan warfare of Washington and look to substance and facts. And that is the charge of this committee. Now, there have been 3 different sets of allegations that have dominated the media. I think it's important to note that 2 of those sets of allegations had so little corroboration that even the New York Times, which is no conservative outlet, refused to report on them because they could find no basis for them. And it was striking in this entire hearing that not a single Democrat in this committee asked about 2 sets of those allegations. Ms. Ramirez's allegations and the allegations of the client of Mr. Avenatti. Not a single Democrat. I don't know if they were just too embarrassed. Mr. Avenatti's allegations were so scandalous that the ranking member omitted his client.
I would like to listen to the talking points in between if there was a way to clean up the audio. If any of you guys can, right here, they're talking about that person in the background in front of a mic that's still hot. And you can kind of hear it, but I'd be curious to hear what they're actually saying.
Client's most scandalous accusations of you as a criminal mastermind, essentially, omitted those scandalous accusations from her statement. This hearing has focused, rightly so, on the allegations Dr. Ford presented. And let me say, I think the committee did the right thing in giving Dr. Ford a full and fair opportunity to tell her story. That's what we needed to do when these allegations became public. And the committee treated her with respect, as we should. I do not believe Senate Democrats have treated you with respect.
They definitely didn't. Fucking malice and contempt.
What do we know? We know that her testimony and your testimony are in conflict. A fair-minded assessor of facts would then look to what else do we know when you have conflicting testimony? Well, we know that Dr. Ford identified 3 fact witnesses who she said observed what occurred. All 3 of those fact witnesses have stated on the record under penalty of perjury that they do not recall what she is alleging happening. They have not only not corroborated
and wouldn't you remember,
explicitly refuted her charges.
Wouldn't you remember if you had to watch a friend get assaulted like that?
Addition,
I know I would.
You walked through before this committee your calendars from the time. Now, I will say you were a much more organized teenager than I was. and that many of us were, but it was a compelling recitation of night by night by night where you were in the summer of 1982.
This cat is fucking... oh, man, dude. He keeps calendars like a freaking autistic person, man. I swear to God. Like, to have that detailed of information as a kid, as a teenager... Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense because you don't have any, like, social media or anything to track your schedule by, but damn. Jesus Christ.
That is yet another contemporaneous piece of fact to assess what happened. And we also know that the Democrats on this committee engaged in a profoundly unfair process. The ranking member had these allegations on July 30th. And for 60 days, that was 60 days ago, the ranking member did not refer it to the FBI for an investigation. The ranking member did not refer it to the full committee for an investigation. The ranking member, this committee could have investigated those claims in a confidential way that respected Dr. Ford's privacy.
But did
and
they?
Some of the most significant testimony we heard this morning is Dr. Ford told this committee that the only people to whom she gave her letter were her attorneys, the ranking member, and her member of Congress. And she stated that she and her attorneys did not release the letter, which means the only people that could have released that letter were either the ranking member and her staff or the Democratic member of Congress, because Dr. Ford told this committee those are the only people who had it.
Ooh.
That is not a fair process.
Hashtag burn.
We should look to the facts, not anonymous innuendo and slander.
Chairman,
That, honestly...
I ask for a point of personal privilege to respond.
I ask for you to fucking go ahead and croak already. Jesus Christ, Grandma. Can we nominate a Democrat for Supreme Court now just so we can shred him and vote against him? It'd be interesting to watch that happen because that's what's going to happen next. When the Democrats, let's say a Democratic president comes up after 2024. And let's say freaking someone, let's say Ginsburg hangs on by the thread that she's hanging on. Then when their nominee comes up, the Republicans are going to do the same shit. And that's what they get. You set, and that's why he keeps talking precedent. You're setting a precedent where people are going to do this and it's become political. They don't have to fucking, this is supposed to be like a job interview. That's all it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a freaking like trial.
Mr. Chairman, let me be clear. I did not hide Dr. Ford's allegations. I did not leak her story. She asked me to hold it confidential, and I kept it confidential.
Well, then her rep leaked it.
She apparently was stalked by the press, felt that what happened, she was forced to come forward, and her greatest fear was realized. She's been harassed, she's had death threats, and she's had to flee her home.
And he hasn't?
In addition, the investigation that the Republican majority is heralding is really nothing that I know about other than a partisan practice. Normally, all the witnesses would be interviewed. However, that's not happened. While the majority has reached out to several people, they did not notify me or my staff that they were doing this. And so to argue that we would not participate but not tell us what they were up to is somewhat disingenuous.
And because you told them, hey guys, we have a letter. We have a letter that says Kavanaugh has done some crazy shit in his past. We have a letter. Like, honestly, you did the same shit, Grandma.
I was given some information by a woman who was very much afraid, who asked that it be held confidential. And I held it confidential until she decided that she would come forward.
After it got leaked.
Would the ranking member
idiot
answer a question, please?
If I can.
I have great respect for Senator Feinstein. We've worked together on many topics, and I believe what you just said. Can you tell us that your staff did not leak it?
Oh, I don't believe my staff would leak it. I have not asked that question directly, but I do not believe
do you know
they
that?
would.
I mean, how in the world could that get in the hands of the press?
The answer
unless the
is
people-
no. The staff
Have you
said
asked
they did not.
Have you asked your staff or other
I
staff
just
members
did.
in the Judiciary Committee?
Pardon me? Well,
You asked me before. You're getting old and can't remember things, you freaking haggard old woman.
Jennifer reminds me I've asked her before about it,
Well,
and that's true.
Well, somebody leaked
Oh,
it.
is it true? Because now you've been told?
I'm telling you, it was not. I did not. I mean, I was asked to keep it confidential, and I'm criticized for that too.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask the chairman a question, which is, does the committee have a process if there is an allegation against any nominee to assess that allegation in a confidential forum rather than in the public, since Dr. Ford requested that it be kept confidential? Is there a process for the committee for considering confidential allegations?
And the answer is yes, and I sent Senator Tillis pointed out the document that I put out to show of all the
they look like they're married. Hatches.
And Mr. Chairman, what would you have done if on July 30th the ranking member had raised this allegation with you? As the chairman of this committee, how would you have handled it?
We would have done like we have done with every background, or let's say FBI report that comes from the White House with the nominee, and then subsequent to that, because maybe the FBI got done with it 3 months ago, we go through the FBI or information comes to us, then we have our investigators in a bipartisan way, both Republicans and Democrats, follow up on whatever those questions are or those problems that have to be worked out.
So bipartisan investigators could have investigated this 2 months ago, and it could have been heard in a confidential setting without Dr. Ford's name or Judge Kavanaugh's name being dragged through the body. Is that correct?
And except for one or two conversations that we had with
Oh, that's
the
Grassley,
judge,
not Hatch.
to
My
our
apologies.
investigators, Democrats didn't participate except in those two, but in those two or one or two, they didn't ask any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I want to.
Mr. Chairman,
yes, go
may
ahead.
I respond? It's my understanding that her story was leaked before the letter became public, and she testified.
What? How would her... What?
Testified that she had spoken to her friends about it, and it's most likely that that's how the story leaked, and that she had been asked by press, but it did not leak from us. I assure you of that.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'm a little confused. I thought only the member of the House and Senator Feinstein and her lawyers had the letter. So.
Oh, look at this bitch over here freaking telling her things. Listen to what she says.
Became public, and she testified that she had spoken to her friends about it, and it's most likely that that's how
This fucking
the story
haggard ass
leaked,
old
and that
woman
she
back
had
here
been
too.
asked by press, but it did not leak from us. I assure you of that.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'm a little confused. I thought only the member of the House and Senator Feinstein and her lawyers had the letter. So her friend, she might
That's
have talked
because
to,
she told other
couldn't leak the
people what
letter.
happened to
They
her.
just had a verbal conversation unless she gave them a copy of the letter.
Senator, I don't think the letter was ever leaked.
Well, how did the press know to contact her about her complaint?
She testified here this morning that she had talked to friends about it, and that press had talked to her.
The letter was leaked.
Senator, our judge, since there was reference to the problems, the legitimate problems, and the change of life.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
To say the impact on your family, I'd be glad to hear you. If you don't want to talk about it, that's okay.
I've talked about that.
Okay. Then Senator Harris.
Thank you. Judge Kavanaugh, have you taken a professionally administered polygraph
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
No, I'll do whatever the committee wants. Of course, those are not admissible in federal court, but I'll do whatever the committee wants.
Oh, look, it's
Admissible in
Camila.
federal court 'cause they're not
Fucking
reliable,
idiot.
Thank you.
As you know.
So you've not taken one.
Right.
All three of the women who have made sworn allegations against you
Kamala
have
Harris.
an FBI investigation into the claims. You've been asked during the course of this hearing by 4 different members, by my count, at least 8 times today, and also earlier this week on national television, whether you would call for the White House to authorize an FBI investigation.
It's not his place to.
Each time you have declined to do so. Now, you know, I know you do, that the FBI is an agency of men and women who are sworn and trained law enforcement, who in the course of conducting background investigations on nominees for
and
the Supreme
they
Court of the
investigated
United
him
States
how many
office,
times?
are charged
Kamala.
with conducting those background
Get married. No
investigations
one wants to
because
marry
they are
your
sworn
haggard
law
ass.
enforcement, and they have the
'Cause you're a
expertise
freaking bitch.
and the ability and the history of doing that. So I'm going to ask you one last time.
Would you
willing to
say
ask
the
the White
FBI
House
should
authorize
investigate?
The FBI to investigate the claims
Ow.
that have been made against you.
Well, I'll do whatever the committee wants, of
So,
course.
and I've heard you say that, but
the
I've
witness
not heard you ask. I've
How
not
many
heard you
times
answer a
does he
very
need to
specific
say
question I was
that?
gonna ask,
Fucking idiot.
Which is, are you willing to ask the White House to conduct an investigation by the FBI to get to whatever you believe is the bottom of the allegations that have been levied against you?
The FBI would gather witness statements. You have
Sir,
the witness statements. They don't
I don't want to debate with you. How
He's
they do
not
their business. I'm just
debating. He's
asking,
telling
are
you the
willing to ask
process
the White House
of
to
the
conduct such an investigation? Because you are
FBI.
aware the FBI did conduct a background investigation into you
Yes,
before we were aware of these most recent allegations. So are you willing to ask the White House to do that? And say yes or no, and then we can move on.
I've had 6 background investigations over 26 years.
Sir, as
Shut
it
up and
relates to these
listen, twat.
allegations, are you willing to have them do it?
The witness testimony is before you. No witness who was there supports that I was there.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a no, and we can move on. You have said in your opening statement, you characterized these allegations as a conspiracy directed against you. I'll point out to you that Justice now, Neil Gorsuch, was nominated by this president. He was considered by this body just last year. I did a rough kind of analysis of similarities. You both attended Georgetown Prep. You both attended very prestigious law schools. You both clerked for Justice Kennedy. You were both circuit judges. You were both nominated to the Supreme Court. You were both questioned about your record. The only difference is that you have been accused of sexual assault. How do you reconcile your statement about a conspiracy against you with the treatment of someone who was before this body not very long ago?
I explained that in my opening statement, Senator. Look at the evidence here, the calendars, look at the witness statements, look at Ms. Kaiser's statement.
Okay. And then, do you
Boom.
agree
Burn,
that
bitch.
it is possible for men to both be friends with some women and treat other women badly?
Of course,
Of
it's human
course,
nature, you
but
fucking
the
idiot.
point I've been emphasizing, and that is if you go back to age 14 for me, you will find people, and not just people, lots of people who I've been friends with, some of whom are in this room today, starting at age 14, women, and who talked about my friendships with them through my whole life, and it's a consistent pattern all the way through. 65 women who knew me more than 35 years ago.
Look at that smug-ass look on that bitch's
to
face.
support me
Like,
after the allegation was made because they know me and they were with me and we grew up together. We talked
She's
on
a
the phone together.
look at that.
We went to events together.
That's a
is
face
who I
that
am.
wants to be
They've
punched.
said what the people who worked with me in the Bush White House, the women there. Look at what Sarah Day said in CentralMaine.com. Look at the
Anthony Kennedy will
what
be the turning point.
Law clerks.
No.
I have
Is it
sent
Kennedy?
more women
No.
law
Who the
clerks
fuck
to the
is?
Supreme Court than any other federal judge
Who's
in the
the
country.
sinner?
I have a few seconds left, and I'll just ask you a direct question. Did you watch Dr. Ford's testimony?
I did not. I plan
Thank you.
to. I plan to.
Thank you.
I plan to, but I did not I was preparing mine.
Our last 5 minutes will be.
Who am I thinking of? That's who's the moderate now? Roberts? Is it Roberts that'll be the moderate now?
Came forward with her account. I immediately said that she should be heard, and asked the chairman to delay the vote that we had scheduled, and the chairman did, and I appreciate that. And she came.
Flake's got fucking
difficulty for her,
3 broads working
compelling
for him.
testimony. You have come and done the same. I am sorry for what's happened to you and your family, as I'm sorry for what has happened to hers. And this is not a good process.
You know what's shitty? Is that none of the Democrats acknowledge the shit show that he's had to face at all. And that girl on the fucking right, I'd bang.
But it's all we've got. And I would just urge my colleagues to recognize that in the end, we are 21 very imperfect senators trying to do our best to provide advice and consent. And in the end, there is likely to be as much doubt as certainty going out of this room today. And that as we make decisions going forward, I hope that people will recognize that. And in the rhetoric that we use, and the language that we use going forward, that we'll recognize that there is doubt. We'll never move beyond that. And just have a little humility on that front. So, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Flake. Now, Senator Kennedy.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I'm sorry, Judge, for what you and your family have been through. And I'm sorry for what Dr. Ford and her family have been.
At least within 2 hours.
What did he say? I want to hear the question, because this is the first Republican that actually asked a question.
I want you to look me in the eye. Are Dr. Ford's allegations true?
They're not accurate as to me. I have not questioned that she might have been sexually assaulted at some point in her life by someone, someplace. But as to me, I've never done this. Never done this to her or to anyone else. And I've talked to you about what I was doing that summer of 1982, but I'm telling you, I've never done this to anyone, including her.
Are Ms. Ramirez's allegations about you true?
Again, I refer to the first answer.
None of the witnesses in the room support that. If that had happened, that would have been the talk of campus in our freshman dorm. The New York Times reported that as recently as last week, she was calling other classmates seeking to, well, I'm not going to characterize it, but calling classmates last week and just seemed very, I'll just stop there. But it's not true. It's not true.
Are Ms. Swetnick's allegations
hold on, did he just dox?
made by Mr. Avenatti about
He just
you
doxed her.
Those are not true. Never met her.
Oh, he just doxed her. God damn it, Kennedy. Pay attention. No one said her name.
I think 60 people who knew me in high school, men and women.
Nominee.
And that's the end of it. To be quite honest, they tried to railroad him. They tried to fucking hold up the nomination because they wanted to get their own in, and they didn't want to confirm someone for Trump again, because that will put Trump up to Supreme Court justices. Like, I just don't get it. Yep, it's one of those things where it just does not make any sense. It is illogical and quite stupid. But, to be quite honest, guys, I'm excited to be back. Thank you so much, Kevin, for the donation. That way we can... it helps me out. It truly does. So I appreciate you, Kevin, even though you were just telling me you had to pee really, really bad. But yeah, guys, if you're new here, throw a subscription on the channel. It's always appreciated. Like the video. I don't know how we did in the way of likes. Let's take a look. I was curious because I've been so focused on watching that and interacting with you guys that I forgot to look at that. Oh, Oh, I wonder who the downvote's from. It's probably from our best friend and whiny crybaby who fucking ran away like a little scared bitch. Ghost House, the scared bitch. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining. I think we'll call it a night there. And I will see you guys tomorrow, possibly. Yeah, it should be tomorrow. But keep an eye on the Discord and subscribe if you're new.